Hey guys, this is Roxy with Meet Roxy Jordan, and tonight and today, or whatever time of day it is, I got the Mr. Lloyd Nolan right over. I got a point right. There he is. Woohoo!
What's going on,
Oh
everybody?
my
Hey, Roxy.
man, Lloyd, thank you so much for joining me on this interview, and I've been looking forward to this because you're just a riot to be around. I got to share a story really quick, and it's a good story.
I
But
always get nervous. I always get nervous when people start saying that.
I
Because
know,
I get
right?
that a lot. Like, people are like, I got this story, and all of a sudden I go, brrrr.
Oh, where is it?
Which
Where
one?
was this one at? Yeah. No, when we were in Las Vegas. We were in Las Vegas, and we were in the party bus, and I caught you on
Right.
video singing Elvis Presley, like blue
Yes.
suede shoes and all that, and there was like
Right.
these psychedelic lights going all over, and I found it today, and I just started laughing. I'm like, oh my God, I've gotta send this to Lloyd because it's such a classic. It was awesome. So, you always put a big old smile on my face. You're just lots of fun. But oh man, tonight though, I want to dig in a little bit about who you are, what you're doing. And so,
Right.
Lloyd, tell me in your core, what does Lloyd, Nolan, what does he stand for? What are you about? If you were gonna, write it down on a piece of paper, or maybe a mission statement or something like that, what would you say about yourself?
Well, I have a couple that, yes, it's funny. I just did a coaching call earlier today, early this evening, and where I'm at now, right? Because there's a lot of times where when you answer this question, like, or your mission statement, right? It changes from time to time, what year, where you are in life. So right now, where I'm at, basically, and I literally wrote it down here, is that what I really need to do at this point in my life is I just need to hunker down, get disciplined, be intentional with my life on a daily basis, make better decisions. I got to get back to exercising. That's the one big thing. I'm trying to do all of this stuff that I'm doing right now, and I'm not tapping into my greatest resource, my own energy, my going out and working out and getting that energy level up. I'm trying to do it running on fumes. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, is stick to the daily disciplines that are going to, the daily disciplines on daily decisions that are going to help me catapult my life forward. And I was talking to my coach tonight, and I'm like, this next quarter can basically, with all the stuff that I have going, that in the same thing, you're going through most of the same stuff as well within LDI, that this could be literally flip the script of my whole life. There's so many things going on. And with that, I need to be very, very careful of what I'm choosing to do on a daily basis. Every decision I make is either going to take me closer to my goal or further away from my goal. So I have to guide my decisions with close to my heart and my mind very, very carefully. So I don't know if that's like a mission statement, but it kind of is.
That's the core of who you are right now, and that's awesome, because I think a lot of entrepreneurs are in that same spot. I mean, especially when we know, like, we're just sitting on this huge time bomb that's about ready to explode and change all of our futures, and you just want to make sure that every single day is just hyper focused and that you are on point every single day. Because who's one of your main that was mine dinging. Was that I didn't shut my browser down. So yeah, like, I know, like, Gary Vaynerchuk is one of your go-to people.
Yeah.
I mean, he's very hyper focused, isn't he?
Yeah. He's almost like, I feel like I need to, like, channel a lot of other people, because that's my biggest problem is that I'm too, like, scatterbrained, and the thing is that Darren Hardy's another guy. I talked about this, about being focused, and that there's like a myth of the multitask. Women always say they can multitask, right? And they say, oh, I could do I get into arguments with my wife about this all the time. She's like, well, I could do this, I could do that, I could do this, and I'm like, yes, you can. You're a great mother. You could do all this stuff. But when you're in that moment, you're only could do one thing. I get caught up with like, even like say right now, before I was like, I'm trying to do something, create some content. Ding, the Facebook thing goes up, ding, and you get pulled from place to place. And it's really just getting hyper focused and focusing on one thing, and get that multitasking myth out of your head that, hey, I can multitask. No, you can't. Your brain can only operate and focus on one thing at a time. You think you could do multiple things at a time, but you're really doing those multiple things at half speed or less than full. So that's really a focus of mine, is to get focused and just take out, like say 50 minutes, a block of time, put a timer on, and then just crank out some work for 50 minutes, take a 10-minute break, another 50 minutes, and do like 3 of those a day. And if I could do 3 of those a day, that'll probably, if I do 3 of those a day for 2 days, it's probably been more focused work than I have for the past month.
Oh, wow. Wow. And you still hold down a full-time job too, right?
Yes. Yeah. That's the trickiest thing that I balance with this whole thing is I do work it's a 9 to 5, but it's really not. It's a 24/7. It's construction sales. So I'm on the phone setting up. When at the end of the day, we set up the next day. I got to answer emails at the end of the day. I have to sit at nighttime is when I do a lot of my paperwork and quotes. I'm always negotiating these tasks of what needs to get done versus what I need to do for myself. So.
Wow. Yeah. And then you have a family. You've got 2 boys and a daughter on the way and a lovely wife. Yeah. So you're balancing, you're balancing a full-time job, several streams of income coming in on your online businesses. And then you have this beautiful family. I mean, that's just crazy. I don't know how you do it. And here you are, it's late at night and we're doing this interview. This is crazy.
This is great though. This is what I love to do. So this is actually like wakes me up. So like after this interview, I'm going to practice what I preach. I'm going to knock out at least 1 50-minute block after this and get some more content out there for everybody.
Awesome. Wow. Well, okay. So another question I have for you, like you and I were both on a tremendous training last night, and the company that we're in, Lifestyle Design International, is really making tidal waves in the marketing industry. And I want to get your take. What do you think? How do you feel about the training last night? How do you feel the direction this company is going? Lay it out. Let me see what your 2018 looks like with all this new training and direction.
I think it's probably, as from an LDI standpoint, I think it's one of the smartest moves that they could have done from that standpoint, from their standpoint, because what it does is creates an income stream for every one of their members. And that's the biggest. I mean, we were there at the weekend over in Vegas, and I don't know how many times, basically everyone is in the same boat. Like, how do I get money to do for advertising? How can I get money for this? How can I get money for this? Well, they just went, here you go.
Here you go.
Shut up and do the work. They didn't say that. They said it in a very, very nice manner. That's what I'm saying to myself. It's like, all right, you know what? Now there's no more time for looking for this or how do I do this? Well, here's an opportunity for you on a silver platter. Go after it. Now, I don't know many companies, if any, would actually do that for you. And then, give you what they're doing is essentially taking your time, their affiliates' time away from building their business. But they know that the quality that they know the value that they give on a daily basis outweighs everything else. So I really believe that they're looking at it as the more I give, the more they'll get back in return. So I think it's awesome. I'm so super excited for this. Like I said, this next quarter I think it's going to change a lot of people's lives inside LDI. These next 3 months people are going to look back and maybe 5 years from now, 3 years from now, and go, this is one of the things. This is the one thing that really flipped the script for me.
Yeah, it totally is a pivot point. And this company was phenomenal even before they introduced this new program. And now, I talked to 3 people today about what we were doing, and they're not even part of our company, and all 3 of them are like, as soon as you have that training done, we want it, like get it in our hands. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And that is just so cool because people are really on top of it and really wanting to make 2018 the biggest year ever. And these are people who are making lots of money already, so they already know the value of the e-commerce and who we're working with. So that's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And what it does too is it gives you a balanced portfolio. You never want to rely on one thing. And to be honest with you, when you go into this online business, it's like, man, you're pigeonholed into one source of revenue for this, like the LDI portion of it. But what they're doing is really giving you more branches, more arms to reach out. I mean, let alone there's a lot of other products within LDI that allows you to do that as well. But they're just continuously giving you more arms to go out and grab, as Grant Cardone likes to say, get who has my money today? Who has my money today? Let me go get some of my money. More
I
arms.
love that. Who's got my money today? Hey, Lloyd, I just got to ask you, were you born with the entrepreneurial spirit, or was that something that you developed? What's your background?
I would say that a lot of people say that, like Gary Vee says, like, man, if you weren't like hustling, selling lemonade on the corner, you're not an entrepreneur. Like, you don't have that. And I don't think I really had that growing up. I had I learned a lot of this through like Tony Robbins. I really had a bad set of beliefs about money growing up. Yeah. It just a lot of negative associations with it. Like, I remember on my interview process with the company I'm still working with now out of college, I was an engineer. I was a civil engineer in college. And I was very like doom, 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 doom. I almost went into structural engineering, architecture, but I didn't want to sit behind a desk. I had to be out in the field talking to people. And I also knew myself. I knew that at 21 years old, I can't be in an office setting because I'm young, dumb, and ready to rock and roll and party. And I'm like, this is not a good setting for me, right? I'm not going to put myself into a setting where I'm going to fail. So I was like, let me just go out into the field where I'm like out and could talk to people and have some fun, right? So I had in that, I guess that kind of morphed into working out in the field. But what I said in that sales interview, well, no, it wasn't a sales interview. There were two salesmen. And I said something like, I had this belief that all salespeople are kind of sleazy. And I actually said in the interview, I'll never do sales. I'll never work as a salesman. And I remember them both looking at each other, being like, yeah, look at this guy over here. He's like 21. Yeah, all right, enough. But they didn't care because they didn't hire me for that. They hired me as a field engineer. So I was like, I got the job done. But as I was working, I saw, like, I knew just as much as the sales guys. And I'm like, they're making all the money. Let me get on that action. And then the job that I have is very entrepreneurial. It's like I do sales now, and also project management. So I'm out there running and gunning. But and it's funny, like I'm coming out in the end of the month, like in this book. I'm going to be part of a book, and I talk about this, the thing that changed everything. And what it was is I was having my worst, like I just started sales for maybe a year or two, and it was 2010. No, it was like 3 years, my third year in, and I was like doing terrible. I've had better months than I've had in a whole year when I was in Brooklyn at this time. And it did, like, sales has a unique way of like crushing your soul when you're doing bad. And I'm in my car out in Brooklyn, and then Tony Robbins came on. And it was like, must have been the 8th time I heard this ad. It was for like a business breakthrough mastery thing. I might even have the, I was cleaning out my parents' house. No, that's not it. And I found the original receipt I kept to that thing. And it was like $1,000 at the time. I've never spent like $10 on a book, let alone $1,000. But I was like such at my wit's end that I couldn't take it anymore. And I was like, I got to try something different. Yeah. And that really awoken me to Tony Robbins. Gary Vee was on that. I saw Gary Vee, a young guy like myself, up on stage talking like me, cursing, really animated, like not very, very like off the cuff. And I was like, whoa, people can actually do this. Like you can be yourself. And that's kind of where it started. And then, but like I said earlier in the thing is like, I took the daily actions of listening to that DVD and then going down the personal development lane. If anyone has, I'm sure you've been there, you just start buying all these books and DVDs, and next thing you know it, I mean, if I got so many books here, half of them I didn't read. It just makes me feel good. Just looking at all the knowledge around me, right? But just listening to all that stuff, and it's like, if you put that stuff in your brain on a daily basis, it's hard not to become that. And so I guess to answer your question 5 minutes later is it grew. I don't think I've ever had, I think it might've been there. It was always there. Like, you know, I love being creative and getting out there and giving content to people and being up on stage or doing whatever it is. So I guess that kind of awoke in that part of me that was, I guess, dormant for all these years. And so I say it was like a little bit of mix. I wasn't 100%. I probably always had a little bit inside me, but the other, like, say 50% was listening to the stuff, listening to people, reading to people, getting input in so that you could eventually output, you know?
Yeah, you know, all the great leaders, they take all this input, they're always dumping into their brain and deciphering, and then they're always putting out. And those are great leaders that are always reading. They got great input coming in, great input going out. And I totally agree. So Tony Robbins actually was your very first introduction to personal growth and development. Yeah. Wow. He's going to be in Denver here. I'm going to go see him and Gary Vee.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What's he doing? Oh, what's he doing in Denver?
Him and Gary Vee are together and 2 other guys. Cool. So yeah, it's going to be a good time, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Just a one-day thing.
I've been to Tony's every single thing that he does, basically. I did Unleash the Power Within, Date with Destiny. I actually did, Unleash with the Power Within twice, Business Mastery, then I did Date with Destiny.
Cool. Oh, so you did the courses. You actually did the courses.
I was there for 7 days. I was there for 7 days in a room from like 10 to 2 in the morning. I mean, it's crazy. Like you said, it was a mission statement. I have my mission statement on the board up here. Let me see if I could like angle my mess. Look past the mess.
Oh,
see
on the
that
board?
right?
Yeah.
Right. This right there.
Yeah.
That poster. That's what you call it's a mission statement. It has all my values, and that was at the time. So like, I should probably go back and redo that. That was last December. So for instance, my mission statement at that point was the purpose of my life is to be courageous, loving, fun, enjoy the present, take life to the next level, and do what is true to myself. Do what is true to my soul for myself and for others.
Wow. Right. That's empowering.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, you know, when I'm in a groove, I'm waking up, I'm doing my little meditation, and I'll get dressed and read that whole board over one time, put a little music on. And after that, I'm like ready to rock and roll.
Nice.
So like when I'm not in the groove and I'm getting up and rushed, I'm, you know, I'm rushing around the house and doing this and doing that. So that's what I was talking about earlier in this thing about like, where am I at right now? Daily disciplines. Get back to reading that. I have a powerful tool right in front of me that I just got to utilize. Yeah. I've been down this journey. I've been there. I have the knowledge. I have the input. It's time for me just to like stop making excuses and get the shit done daily.
Totally.
Right?
Totally. And you're going to do it. I have no doubt in my mind. I mean, this is something that you're going to hammer out. Absolutely. Wow.
Yeah.
Too cool.
Now I have to because I'm on blast right now.
You are. No, we got you recorded.
No, I thank you. I'm done. What you want me to hold up a newspaper and be like, hey?
You know what I'd love to do? Would you do this for me, Lloyd? Would you stand up right there and say that with authority? Say with authority your mission statement on that board, like you would do every morning. Is it something that you just burst out? I mean, I know your children are sleeping, so you can't be really loud.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Demonstrate it.
All right, I'm gonna like let you in on it. Like this is like crazy. So I'm gonna.
Awesome.
Let me just I'm gonna cue up the music that I have. I'll go right to like the middle.
Love it. Thank you.
So, yeah. So when I'm on fire, like I don't really meditate. I'm not a big meditator, but I do the Tony when I get ready to go in the morning, I'll listen to Tony Robbins' Priming. It's called the Priming exercise, and it's basically like a guided meditation. And it's not really where meditation is to like try to eliminate thoughts, I guess, or just try to not think.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me. I'm not here to judge that, but like it doesn't really help me. It doesn't work for me. I have a lot of. That's a whole nother thing, but he just basically, he basically takes you through steps about 10 to 15 minutes. What are you happy in your life? 10 things you're grateful for. 3 things you're grateful for. Focus on giving love. 3 things you want to accomplish. Could be, in the next day or week or year. So I'll give you, let me see if this is queued up.
Sweet.
Can you hear a little Phil?
Uh-huh.
I don't know if this is going to break like Facebook rule. Oh no, it's not. We're not on Facebook. This is Zoom. All right. I'm going to stand up. Can you see me?
Yes, I can.
All right, I'm going to go. I'll bend down I'll go like this. All right, here we go. Where is it? Okay, here we go. My name is Lloyd Nolan. The purpose of my life is to be courageous, loving, fun, enjoy the present, take life to the next level, and do what is true to my soul, for myself and for others. And then I would go through all the towards values. And then another question up there is, how can I appreciate myself and my truth even more while enjoying and enhancing this current moment? So that's like a primary question that Tony talks about, where you want to eliminate the bad questions like, why do I suck? Why do I do this? Why do I do that? Or even something like, how can I make this situation better? Which was one of my biggest problems, is how do I make the situation better? Well, if you're a class clown or a joker like myself, I'd also entertain and do stuff to my own detriment. Yeah. So that's, or if you're, how do I make this business better? You burn yourself out. So that was one of Tony's things as well, is like, you can ask even what you think may be a positive question over and over and over in your head. It's actually really negative.
Oh man.
Yeah. So like what I was trying to get at with that is that really, like, how can I appreciate myself? So right off the bat, I was asking myself, like, all right, how can I be true to myself? So how can I be entertaining, right, without being the clown or being a jester or being like, laughed at instead of laughing with, right?
Yeah.
And then while enjoying and enhancing a moment. So it's basically, I always love taking things to the next level. You've hung out with me. I always like getting a rise out of people.
Oh yeah.
But don't hurt myself, and don't hurt others. Because now I have a family, right? Yeah. I can't go out and party all the time. Yeah. It's great. I'm making everybody else laugh, but what happens when I come home? Yeah. I'm not with my family. So that's that question. That question, that's where I was at that point in time. Probably changes a little bit now. So you kind of have a good grip of what that is. But if you're able to go through something like that every day, there's another thing, your power virtues. Yes. I am courage. I am laughter. I am love. I am strength. Just say that over and over. Find 4 virtues that you want to be, that you're going to be, right? Yeah. So that took like almost like 7 days.
That's
so that was like
awesome.
A little, like, Tony promo there, but it was intense, but it was great.
I love it. And thank you for letting us in a little bit on your morning routine that you're going to be getting back to, that you've done before. And standing up and doing that, because that's the Lloyd I know. Like, you are not afraid to do anything. You're like, but yet I have to say, like, I honor and respect you for protecting your family too. And that, because family and marriage is huge for me, even though I'm not, it's huge for me that you do honor and respect your family. And so thanks for, saying that too, because that's a big deal, especially in social media today.
It is. It's tough and it's different. You got to act differently. I mean, like I said, like when I was in my 20s, I was, we were a lunatic. When I first met my wife, 2007, we got married in 2010. And we had Liam right away, a honeymoon baby. But people were like, oh, man, you didn't even have any fun. I was like, listen, we had enough fun for 3 years to last us a lifetime. We're good.
No kidding.
So there's a time to, like, turn it on, right?
Yeah.
You almost, and there's still parts of me, and I think it's parts of everybody, right? Where there's still that adolescent in me that wants to come out and party. There's that little boy that wants to come out. But I'm at a point in my life right now where it's okay to have them come out and still show their face. But, the man needs to show up right now.
Yeah.
Discipline, exercise, daily discipline, daily actions that are going to better myself and my family and my loved ones and everyone else around me.
Yeah.
Shit, the better I do, the better, you're going to be better off. The better you do, I'm going to be better off. Like you almost have to look at it now. I mean, I'm 36. I mean, I wish I had this realization a lot younger in life, but it is what it is. I got here, right? So you can't complain about that.
Yeah.
Is that, the better you do, like you almost have a responsibility to do better for everybody else out there. It's if you have the tools, if you have the juice, if you have it, don't bottle it up, like share it, put it out there and attack it, because only good's going to come from that. Right.
That's exactly right. And I totally agree with you on that part. And, and just being part of even our XL mastermind, we hold each other accountable. We really do. And it's a matter of, we pull each other forward into doing better and to being a class act, but we like to have fun too. And it's good, clean fun. And that's so needed. But and I love that you say that, because it's like a snowball effect. And if you don't jump in the snowball, you're going to be left behind. So you just got to jump in that ball and let people pull you forward, and you do better and you pull people forward. And it all works. My dog just came up beside me and scared the crap out of me. And I love that people share too. I mean, this is a community, and even in entrepreneurs, it's so different. I've touched on this in other interviews, but it's so different. People are willing to share what's working. And I love that we can just all put it out there and help each other go forward. It's totally cool.
And like we said earlier, is that like the guy, Aaron, who's sharing this whole drop shipping thing with us, he doesn't have to do this.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to. Why would he even, why would he want to, right?
Right.
But he wants to. It's because I really believe inside everybody that it's like, if you have a secret that's good enough, like so good, like why not give it to everybody? Like why not share it with the world? He's not going to share us everything, but here's the formula. It's up to, like I said, it's up to you. Like, you can, what's the saying about the horse drinking water? You can't
lead a horse. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it.
I figured you'd know that. You're the horse expert.
Yeah.
I'm over here in the Bronx. The only horse that I know about is Mr. Ed from the 1970s.
Hey, Lloyd, I got to ask you this question. Do you think your children will become entrepreneurs? Because in all reality, your wife is an entrepreneur. She's a professional photographer. You have the entrepreneurial spirit. Do you think it's something that your children will pick up on when they grow old enough and start diving into it?
Yeah, I think so, because I'm going to introduce them to this lifestyle early in life. I mean, where they may not even get it. My goal is to not have to pay college, right? I think, honestly, like if you really ask me, I think college is by the time my son is 5, another 12 years, the whole college bubble might burst. I don't know what's going on with that it's just so expensive. So, man, you got to look at other options. And I would definitely just very early on. I know there's like a lot of books, and a lot of entrepreneurs themselves have released books about showing kids how to deal with money, how to be smart with money. Yes. I didn't know anything about money, and it's probably a good telltale sign of where I'm at right now, is that, I'm still trying to I'm on my way to making it, but it's like, holy cow, it's been a journey, right? So the better I teach them, my kids, about money at an early age and how to respect it, how to use it, have powerful, positive meanings about money. I mean, they talk about it. It's like, what's the negative thing about money? Doesn't grow on a tree, right? You keep saying that over and over again. You're going to see the scarcity issue with money, right? It's always going to be scarce to you. If you go around thinking money doesn't grow on trees, we don't have money, we can't afford this, we can't afford that. If the kid hears that his whole life, what do you think he's going to happen? Well, we don't have money. It's an unattainable thing. So you have to be very careful with the verbiage you use. So I just think, and the words you use around your kids too, and
they hear everything. They hear every word.
Oh yes, they do. Oh yes, they do. So, and
I like really quick though. I really like the one Jeff the other day. I think it was Jeff or maybe it was Andrew that said people say that they want some cold hard cash, and he said he wanted some warm fuzzy cash because he likes hugging it.
Exactly.
So now I got these bolas like over around the money and the soft fuzzy stuff. Sleep with my money.
Exactly. Yeah, I like it. Angie does that.
Exactly. So that's really cool because about everybody I talk to has said that they're going to be introducing, their children to online marketing and digital marketing, and that's really.
And it's funny, like I was like, these kids, they watch all like the YouTube shows, and it runs through my head. It's like, man, do I want to put like, when do you introduce like, it's like, do you put your kid into acting, right? And, you know what I mean? Stuff like that, and expose them to an adult world, or you put them on YouTube and have their own channel. Like, there's tons of these YouTube kids and families making all this money just opening stupid toys. Drives me nuts when watching it. They know every damn toy. But it's like, it's like a thing in my head. I'm like, man, do I start up a YouTube channel for him? Or I'm like, you know what? I think I'd probably go the behind the scenes route for him, is an online, and then let him decide what they want to do. And I say him just because I'm thinking of Liam. He's the oldest one because he's the one that's going to first introduce to this. So I would say like I'd probably introduce him and just let him make his own decision if he wants to go out there and be front of it. I know my second youngest guy, Pierce, he'll be in front of the camera, no problem.
You'll be your YouTube expert.
He will, yeah, he will. I said he'll tell me, he'll be teaching me YouTube in a couple of years. I'll tell you that. The kid's hysterical.
Speaking of that, Lloyd, you actually have a YouTube product out right now in our Transcend product. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so it's a YouTube mastery. So basically, it's taking your YouTube channel from zero, like I basically walk you through tutorial of everything just from clicking. It's a very, very basic starter, and then it gets more and more advanced about the interworks of YouTube and like how to just like add the captions, how to add logos, how to like, when you watch a video and then at the end of it, the 2 other videos pop up on the screen, like watch this. So it really just shows you all that stuff and how to make it pretty. And what I've been doing too is that I've purchased other YouTube channel, like YouTube things, and I've been going through that specifically on ads. And I'm going to add my own little mix of how to do YouTube ads, what I think is going to be pretty cool. I'm in the middle of finishing that to put that into the bonuses part of the product. So that's basically, you can go on and buy it right now, but I haven't personally went 100% marketing yet because I still have to put the finishing touches on it. And it doesn't need to be perfect, but it's not 100% complete yet.
Right.
So that's what I might, like I said, that's another goal of mine this quarter. It's that's towards the front of this quarter, get that done, put it out there. I'm going to be in a book. Like, holy crap, pinch myself. I got to get that out there.
Well, tell me more about this book. I want to know more about this book. I've heard you touch base on it just a little bit. I want to know more. How'd this all come about?
Well, it came about because I saw Gary V. It's this whole weird story in like circle thing. It's just how the world works. And basically how I got into this book is that I saw Gary V in the city. I was working and I'm like, I got an email. I was like, oh crap, And I go, and I thought it was at nighttime. I go, what time is Gary V get to the store at? I called up the Foot Action. And he's like, I'm like, you know, what time's the line? He's like, oh, he's here right now. And I go, I thought it's 7 to 10. He's like, yeah, 7 to 10 in the morning. I'm like, oh shit, I'm around the block. I literally just hopped in the train one stop, got onto the thing, met him. And I should have asked him a question, but I was just so like, oh crap, what do I say? And I just thanked him for helping me start my like entrepreneurial journey, because he was one of those first people that I was introduced to in that Tony Robbins Business Breakthroughs. He was on DVD 10, and he talked about how to lead with your passion in your business. As you could imagine, Gary Vee's a very passionate person, and that was 2010. And then I was just like fired up, man. I came home, I was like, yeah, Gary Vee. I got my Gary Vee kicks. I got them right over there. And I saw this email. I checked this email account that I normally don't check. And I looked at it and I saw this thing is like, hey, do you want to be part of this project? And I'm like, you know what? Screw it. And I literally just typed what I just told you guys. Blah, 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 blah. I took this little story, intertwined it, and I was like, all right, boom. And then I get a call back like the next day, like, hey, we love your story. I think it's really cool. You want to be part of this book? And I'm like, what the heck? So I can't give out too much details on it because we're not allowed to yet. But it was the guy who's publishing it is Kyle Wilson, who created Jim Rohn International.
Oh Lordy.
He literally created Jim Rohn International. He built a huge list for Jim Rohn. I mean, if you go on Kyle Wilson or Jim Rohn, he has Jim Rohn International. So it's like so crazy. And Jim Rohn was one of those guys that I listened to in the car that when I went to that after Tony Robbins, because Jim Rohn was one of Tony Robbins' mentors. Tony Robbins got his start in network marketing or affiliate marketing by selling Jim Rohn's courses and his seminars. Oh. That was one of the things.
Gotcha.
So it's crazy. So now I'm gonna, you know, I got like the finished copy last week, and then I get to like, you know, I can't like say the title or put anything out like that because they have a way that they're gonna release everything. But yeah, like at the end of the month, I'm gonna be one of like 20 people in this chapter. So
man, I can't.
Mine's gonna be a lot more lighthearted than than a lot of other people. Like and the thing is that the cool part about it is like there's a World Series pitcher in it. There's a U.S. memory champion. There's like an Emmy Award winner in it. It's like It's like really, really cool that I'm a part of it. And they're telling, and the biggest thing about it was like you have this question of, I talked about having a bad question. What did I immediately go to? Oh, who am I? Right? I'm just a regular guy. I can't put myself. My story's not this. My story's like that. Right? You go down that road, right? And it's kind of normal, I guess, for a lot of people to do that. Maybe some people that train themselves not to, like a Tony Robbins, right? But, you know, I was like, oh my gosh, like, am I even going to be like, I was getting nervous to put myself out there, right? So I'm over it. I have my story. It's my story. It's very honest. It is what it is. There's no frills. There's no like build up to this great thing. There's other people in this book have like really amazing stories that I'm just kind of like, I'm wowed about. And I'm like, oh my God. And then they got me here, you know.
No way. You know what I admire about you, Lloyd, in this instance? And I admire a lot of things about you. But you got an email, you read it, you only needed about 20% knowledge, and you just put it out there and sent it, and bam. You know, and a lot of the great entrepreneurs, that's what they do. They don't need to know the 100% of what might happen. They just did that little 20% and said, let's just throw it out there, because you never know what might happen. That's exactly what you did. And that's what great entrepreneurs do. So high five. Cool.
Yeah.
And then you also have a webinar coming out. There's a similar webinar to what I've got out. Tell me about that process. What was that like to go through the process of building that webinar?
Yeah, I'm in the middle of it, right? And I'm in the midst of it as we speak. I just sent back I just sent back like last week a bunch of stuff. I sent them the chapter so they can help learn how I speak, which is a little different than a lot of the population.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I mean, we're all different in our way. So yeah, it's cool. It's like the thing I like about it is that it's going to be geared towards me. It's not like a generic like, you know, uh,
Mm-hmm.
like cookie cutter webinar. It's like they're going to gear it to your voice, to my voice, and I'm going to be able to have some fun on it, and really try to attract more. And really what it is, it's like show more people this opportunity that we're doing right now. And that's what it's all about. And it's just another way to grab someone's attention, right? And it's a very powerful way with being on a webinar. I mean,
You
and
know,
if I'm able to
I've
deliver, go ahead.
yeah, really quick. I've been talking to quite a few leaders in the industry, and they're saying that 2018 is the year of the webinar. They said it's going to like be the max. Yeah, it's pretty. So
Yeah,
I
so
was like, well, that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go, LDI. Get my webinar ready and done.
Right?
Roxy says it's the year of the webinar.
It's the year of the webinar. I know. You talk about them creating it in your voice. I was really shocked when I got, my webinar and was listening. They did some investigating. Like they knew exactly how I talked. Everything. I was totally blown away. Like, whoa, this is like really customized. Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Like to speak to the Transcend product, like when we went out there and I did like the sales page and the thank you page, I mean, they went into my like Facebook lives. I did like a 90-day Facebook live challenge, and they put stuff in that thing, and I said like half the stuff was hysterical. I'm like, oh my God. It's funny, like the clips that they pick are not the ones that are me like sitting behind a desk. They're like me out doing stuff, and I'm like me grilling a steak with my roommate from college. I was like, you know what, let's do a Facebook Live on how to cook a steak. I was already about 6 beers deep. I was making I don't know. I was making mint. What was it? Dark
mint
and stormy.
Oh, Dark and stormy.
You just have, and that put up there, and then like the one I didn't see, they put in front of everyone at the Excel Mastermind. They took a video of me and Liam doing like a night swim where we went out in the pool. It was the first time we went out night swim. We were talking about it. My father-in-law, he has like a green light, and we put it on, and the whole backyard lights up green, and we were doing night swimming. And it was like a cool, memorable moment for me. And then the first time I saw it, that video of the thank you page, they put that up in the Excel thing. And I'm just like, oh, crap. I'm like, oh, man, it's like he's getting some cutting onions in the back. Like, what's going on? Like, oh, crap, So, yeah, they definitely do. And that's a cool thing about LDI, like Lifestyle Design International. They really look at your life. They really dig into deep about who you are, what do you do, what do you care about. And they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to go on my feed. They could have put any clips from the internet. They went in, put these emotional moments for me that I didn't even really think was emotional at the time. I knew it was a cool thing, but I wasn't really prepared for that, seeing that for the first time. So I'm so happy with those videos, the sales videos and thank you videos that they helped create for me. I can't wait for the webinar to see what comes out of that. It's like opening like it'd be like Christmas morning again,
Yeah. Yeah.
But this gift is a gift that is going to keep on giving.
Keep on giving. No doubt. Wow. So I got some more questions, just really quick. So you've been an entrepreneur, you've been an online marketer for quite a while. How many years have you been doing this?
Well,
not just LDI, but before.
Yeah, I was saying like when I first started online marketing, like when shortly after that, going into the Tony Robbins thing, and I saw a billboard, believe it or not, on the New Jersey Turnpike, driving back and forth when my wife was my fiance at the time, and it was to get into a business. It was to get into Aaron's first business.
Oh.
It was Jeff's team that I got under. That's when I first got out there. I went to an event. I met Jeff. I met Aaron. I met a bunch of the guys out there, and that I was like kind of like I wasn't ready for it. I just wasn't, I didn't have like I had this, I would say I had the entrepreneurial spirit, but I didn't have the muscles. I didn't have the brain. I don't say the brain. I didn't have the muscles yet. I didn't like do the daily stuff. I haven't been through it. And that's when I basically cut my teeth, was that first time around learning the whole, you know, the system that Jeff created, the T3FP system. It was like when he first laid that out. So I feel like I compare like that first go around to being like a rookie in NFL, like a lot of, or it could be any sport, but like a linebacker or a quarterback where they drop back, they call hike, and all of a sudden, the game's so fast for them, and they're just over. They can't even keep up because they can't even see. Everyone else is playing at a high level, and you're just like, you're getting your feet wet, right? You're just trying to figure it out. I feel like I was there at that point, and this go around 6 years later, when I saw Jeff and Andrew get back together, I was like, because I still kept in touch with them on Facebook, and that's what I saw Andrew post up about the webinar, the LDI webinar that Jeff showed us at the Freedom thing.
Yeah.
But I was on one of the early webinars in January of last year, and I was like, I'm doing it. I didn't know what they were doing, but I was like, I know these guys are smart. I'm going to follow me some smart guys.
That's what happened to me. It was kind of my birthing month was January 2nd, 2017. And yeah, when you watch the webinar and you watch these guys, you're like, I'm writing a check. Like, this is happening and we're doing this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it's funny
crazy.
how, like, what I think I wouldn't say it's funny, but I just say it's interesting how you could see, like, you and I watch that and be like, bam, let's go. And someone else watches it and it's just like nothing.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that, it just means that, we're in a different place. We know what we're looking for. Right. And, and that's the thing. It's like, how do you find people, like-minded people in that same space? Right. It's hard,
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a lotto, I guess. Not, I mean, and I shouldn't say the lotto, but it's just like, try to find people at that point in time when they're ready to go, ready to just jump aboard. But I think that
I think the biggest thing is just doing, we have a lot of ways of driving traffic, but it's basically attraction marketing too, and funnel,
right.
Qualifying people. But I think just the way you and I live our life, and people seeing that, and we putting that out, putting that out in content and on Facebook Lives and stuff like that, that really talks to a lot of people. And then you find those like-minded people that are like, if you're doing it, I'm doing it. So let's get on with this. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And
totally.
I think there's something to that. And that's part of this next, month or so. Like I'm going to, the YouTube channel that I've been working on, I'm looking ready to get that launched. I mean, and just consistently, and this is what I was talking about, this daily discipline of consistently giving content. Mm-hmm. Like, don't hold back. Don't because what you're doing is you may think it may be good for you at the moment, but what you're doing is you're robbing other people of that knowledge, of that opportunity, right? If your mouth's quiet, you're inactive, you're in that prone position, or you're robbing other people of the opportunity to step into your shoes or even become better than you, right?
Yeah, and to go along with that, whenever you do the content, you're always inviting them along on the journey. People want to join forces with you on a journey. They just want to do that. They want a leader too. But a lot of people are like, I just want to watch how this works and watch you go through the steps. And then they're like, okay, then they're, knocking on the door like, hey, I want to join you because I see what you're doing. And people just want to join you on the journey. And I think that's where a lot of entrepreneurs mess up maybe a little bit, is that they don't share their journey. And that's what people want. It's like reality TV in all reality. It's reality TV is what it is.
It's real. It's real. Funny you say that. It's because when I was doing my lives, my 90 days in a row, I didn't do them in a row. I just did 90 days for course of I don't know how many months it was, maybe 6 months. So maybe it took a day off every here and there. Yeah. But people were like, when I stopped doing it, you're like, what's going on? Like, what are you doing? Like, you're like, what are you up to? What was that all about? And the one thing that I think I said this on stage is that I didn't really give any call to actions in those videos. It was literally just like a little like Truman Show, right? Where it's just like, hey, good morning, good afternoon, good night. And it was just like, hey, this is what I'm up to. This is what I'm doing. I'm doing online business. I got a family. I'm doing work. You know, I'm doing this. I mean, it was a little tough for me too, is because I can't really put my work stuff out on Facebook out there. You know what I mean? Because I work for a corporation, insurances and stuff like that. So a large part of my day is that work thing. So like it was a little difficult for me to negotiate like what I'm able to put out on for content just so I can keep my job, so I don't lose my job. Right?
Yeah, really.
So, but and this goes back to the same thing. Like where like in the past thing, I've basically been working behind the scenes and doing all this stuff where like I probably should have been doing a better job of being more transparent and showing people what I'm doing, because that's really that's like the good part when it's not, when it's like down and dirty, because you know, you come on Facebook, hey everybody, look at me, I'm or Instagram, right? Instagram's like everyone's doing like the best thing ever that day. Yeah. Everyone's on top of a mountain singing on Instagram, right? Which is fine, which is okay. The hills are alive with the sound of music.
You know, but what you were doing, you were building low like and trust too. You know, right. And that's really powerful.
And that's what and really at the end of the day, that's what my goal was. It was just like, hey, it was more about building trust, because I just was like, let me get my feet wet here kind of thing. Let me work the muscles of this LDI thing. So now I'm just like I feel like I'm a completely different person to do a Facebook Live. I can do it like I can pretty much do it cold and have a good like sort of formula, like the calf that Jordan said, like I know what to do like now when shooting a video versus just getting on and just, you know, blah, 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 whatever. The biggest thing is, you know, the biggest thing is like to not talk about you. If you're talking about yourself, talk about it in relation to others, because nobody cares about really what you're doing. They care about how that makes them feel, right?
Yeah.
You're telling a story, you know, like Tony Robbins, like he teaches and he tells a story. So what happens is you put yourself into that story, right? You put so like when you're telling a story about yourself and what your day is, what you're trying to do is relate to them and relate to people that are doing the same thing that you're doing, right? So when you're saying like, online journeys, like I've struggled, you know, I think the best part about it is really just being vulnerable, being able to open up and just show people that it's not all fun and games, or it's not all like this facade, right? Where you get to, you know, pick and choose what you post. You gotta let the curtains back from time to time, not all the time. Nobody wants to. Another thing is nobody wants to hear your shit either. Like, you don't start complaining about shit, right?
Right.
You could do a funny rant if that's your style, but you know, it's just like nobody wants to hear you complain. So you don't have, and that's the other thing. Like, you don't have to share everything. Just you know, this is what I struggled with today. Have you done this? And then this is how I overcame it. Right. This is what I did. I didn't overcome it, but that's in the past. Now I'm doing this. You know,
Well, Lloyd, let me ask you, if you were maybe, how am I going to ask this? What would be the best advice to your oldest son if he was 18 or 19 years old and he was ready to jump into online digital marketing or entrepreneurship? What is something, you know, like three pieces of advice that you would give to him?
Good question. 18-year-old Liam. What to think. First off, I'd probably be looking up at him because he's probably bigger than me.
And you're a tall guy.
Yeah, he's I don't know. Yeah. He's a strong kid too. It's probably I'm hoping I could still kick his ass still by then.
I love it.
50 something. I have that old man strength still, but he'll be catching up to me. I'm just trying to like literally put myself in. But no, if he's looking to start an online business, I would just say kind of like what if you're doing like the list of this, of like what we're doing, like kind of like what Gary Vee says is like document yourself, don't create, like share people. So I would be like, share with people your journey. Number one. Number two, find a passion of yours that you like talking about, that you can that you can easily talk about and relate to, and use that use that passion as how you're able to tell stories and share your ideas, so it's easier for you to get started, right? And that's kind of advice I gave a young kid at LDI. Nate, I was just saying, like, what do you, he's like, I don't know how to do videos. And I'm like, what's something you love? He's like, baseball. I'm like, weave it around baseball, do something with baseball. It's easy for you to talk about baseball. Talk about that metaphor. What are you doing there? Do you practice every day? I'm sure you do if you're trying out for a semi-pro team. Well, it's a lot like, you know, and then he kind of did his like first Facebook thing. So I would say
it was tremendous too.
Yeah,
that was a tremendous
really cool
video.
Yeah. So I would say something like that. And then that's for like the creation thing. And then put in the work. Like, you're not going to hit gold the first day, the first year. You may, you never know, but odds are not in your favor. Like, this is something that you're going to have to work at. I think there's like an ongoing theme here. You're going to have to take the daily disciplines every single day, make decisions that are going to take yourself and move yourself forward in life, in your online business, but you have to do them daily, right?
Yep. Those are good. Those are really good. Man, Lloyd, I so appreciate you hopping on this chat with me tonight. I mean, we're about to wind down here, and is there anything in your head that you're like, man, I wish Roxy would ask me, or something that's just been sitting at the edge, like, I really want to share this? Is there anything? I'm just going to open it up. Is there something that you want to share that's just right there at the forefront of your mind?
Well, you didn't ask me to do an Elvis Presley impersonation. So
can you do it? Can you? Would you? I can post the video.
I did an Andy Kaufman. And now the Elvis Presley. Boom, boom, boom. Hold on. Hey, how everybody doing now? All right. I don't do anything with my blue suede shoes. Baby, a blue suede shoes.
I love it.
Thank you very much.
I would know you no other way.
That wasn't my best Elvis Presley impersonation. It's hard to do without the music. The music kind of like gets the whole, like,
kind of gets you going.
My lip, I think there's something wrong with my lip. There's something wrong with my lip.
Lloyd. Well, hey, Lloyd. Go ahead. Go ahead. Do you have something more?
I think end on that. I think you covered a lot.
We did. I just thank you so much for getting on Zoom meeting with me and doing this little chat. And how can people, I'm going to be putting this out on my Facebook page. And if people want to hear more about your Elvis Presley impersonations or your Facebook page or something like that, what is it? I'll put it on the screen. I'll even put it on the screen here. So what is your Facebook page?
So I'm on my business page on Facebook is at Lloyd Nolan Live, LLOYD Nolan Live. And then the website, I'm actually, it should be out this week. I'm going to be launching that as nextlevellifestyle.com.
Nice.
So that's going to have a lot of I'm basically going to be posting a lot of my YouTube stuff there. Just a lot about a little stuff about me, a little bio about me, and where you can work with me, any products. You get this book that I'm going to have out there. Going to have the YouTube product up there, and any other new products that are coming out. And that's nextlevellifestyle.com. I got to get used to saying that because that's coming out really cool.
That's cool.
So, and then from there, if you go to there, nextlevellifestyle.com, I'm going to have all like my YouTube links, Instagram, Facebook, you can basically catch me there.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. It's awesome to see your smile and your energy. And I'm not going to get any sleep tonight, I'm pretty sure, because I'll be thinking about everything that you've been saying. So thank you so much.
No, thank you so much. It was really cool. This is the first time I did any like type of interview like this. So it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Cool. All right.